Do you know that feeling when the world around you seems too vast, and you, yourself, feel ridiculously small and utterly lost? When something inside tears from stress and the chaos of the day overwhelms, leaving you alone with anxiety? I've often found myself in that exact spot, sitting amidst millions, yet feeling like I'm on a deserted island, as if your problems are yours alone and you're completely isolated from an enormous, indifferent mechanism. It's precisely in these moments, when loneliness weighs so heavily it takes your breath away, that we search for support, something to help us realize, I am not alone. And you know what I've discovered? There isn't just a philosophy, but an entire operating system for our minds that helps us reset. It's ancient wisdom, proven over millennia, offering a powerful tool for building an inner fortress, Stoicism. But today, I want to discuss one of its key ideas that changes everything when you feel disconnected from the world. This idea is called sympathy, or more accurately, Sympatheia. Perhaps it sounds high-minded? In reality, it's a profound understanding. We are all interconnected. Absolutely everything in the universe, from a grain of sand to distant stars, from every person to every blade of grass, is part of a single, living whole. Every action, word, and even thought we have, like ripples on water, spreads out and influences everything around us. And in precisely the same way, everything around us influences us. Sympatheia teaches us to see ourselves not as isolated individuals, but as integral threads in the vast tapestry of existence. To realize that even when we feel utterly alone, we are always part of something greater. We don't just exist in the world, we exist as a part of the world. This knowledge has the power to transform how we perceive stress, anxiety, and loneliness. In this video, I will share specific, simple, and surprisingly effective exercises. They will help you not just understand Sympatheia, but to feel it on a deep, personal level. You will learn to see these invisible threads connecting you to all that exists and use this knowledge to find inner peace and strength. These aren't just words. This is a path to never truly feeling alone again. So, how do we apply this grand idea of universal interconnectedness, this Sympatheia, in our daily lives when the world starts to weigh us down again? How do we move from understanding to truly feeling this indivisibility so that anxiety and the feeling of isolation recede? In fact, it begins with a very simple, yet fundamental principle that the Stoics called the Dichotomy of Control. It might sound complex, but its essence is ridiculously straightforward. There are things within our sphere of influence, and there are things entirely beyond our control. Do you remember the last time you tormented yourself over a traffic jam, someone else's opinion online, or weather that ruined your plans? I certainly do. And every time I did, I felt drained and powerless. But here's the secret. We cannot control traffic, other people's words, or the rain. We can only control our reaction to them, our thoughts, our attitude, our actions. Marcus Aurelius, that great emperor-philosopher who governed an empire torn by wars and epidemics, understood this perfectly. He couldn't stop the barbarians or the plague, but he could control his mind, his judgments, his ability to act honorably. He was like a rock amidst a raging sea, unmoving in his inner fortress, while the waves of external events crashed against him. Imagine two circles. The inner circle represents what is entirely within your power, your thoughts, your decisions, your efforts, your character. The outer circle encompasses everything else, the actions of other people, the outcomes of your efforts. Even if you tried very hard, the past, the future, other people's opinions. Our task is to focus as much as possible on the inner circle. This doesn't mean being indifferent to the external, no. It means not investing your energy and emotional resources where they are bound to be wasted. When you feel overwhelmed, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, what of this can I control? What depends on me right now? And if the answer is nothing, then ask, what attitude can I choose towards this? This exercise, simple at first glance, profoundly shifts your focus. It restores your sense of agency when it feels like the world is pulling the rug out from under you. And now we come to a second powerful idea, closely linked to the first, our attitude towards what happens. The Stoics called this Amor Fati, love of fate. It might sound overly dramatic, but in practice, it's a deep acceptance of everything that occurs, not just as inevitable, but as necessary for our growth. As if every obstacle we face isn't a wall, but a stepping stone. Consider Thomas Edison, who endured thousands of failures before inventing the light bulb. He didn't see them as failures, but as steps to success, as ways that didn't work. He loved the process, with all its difficulties. Or Steve Jobs, who was ousted from his own company, Apple. Wasn't that a devastating blow? For most, yes. But he later said it was the best thing that could have happened to him, because it freed him for new creative projects that eventually led him back to Apple and the creation of the iPhone. He transformed his obstacle into fuel and fire. As Marcus Aurelius put it, using it for growth and transformation. Even Nelson Mandela, after spending 27 years in prison, emerged not broken, but a stronger, wiser leader. He used his isolation for deep inner work to plan his country's future. So, when you encounter something painful, unexpected, or unpleasant, try to pause. Instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "What can this teach me? How can I use this event for my growth? What strength can I extract from this situation?" This isn't about denying the pain, it's about transforming it. It's the acceptance that even in the darkest moments, a seed of future triumph, or at least a valuable lesson, lies dormant. And the last thing I want to emphasize today is the importance of mindfulness, living in the present moment. In our world, where information floods us from all sides, where we constantly plan for the future or regret the past, we lose the only thing we truly possess, the now. Seneca, another great Stoic, said that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. We replay worst-case scenarios, worrying about what hasn't happened yet or what has already happened and cannot be changed. Imagine life as a vast mosaic, and each moment is one small, unique piece. If we constantly look at previous pieces or try to guess the shape of the next, we miss the beauty of what is directly in front of us. The practice of mindfulness isn't something esoteric. It's simply the ability to be here and now. This could be taking a deep breath when you feel overwhelmed. It could be consciously observing the cup of coffee you're drinking, the sounds around you, the sensations in your body. Don't judge these sensations, simply observe them. When I myself feel lost or alone, I take such a pause. I close my eyes, focus on my breathing, on how the air fills my lungs and leaves them. I remember that I am part of this moment, this planet, this vast web of life that Sympatheia speaks of. And in that moment, I feel not just human, but something more. I am not alone because I exist. I am part of everything. These simple practices, controlling what is within our power, accepting what is not, and being present in the now, are precisely those threads that connect us to the immense tapestry of existence. They not only help manage stress and loneliness, but also allow us to feel this deep, unbreakable connection to all that is, granting us inner peace and incredible strength. Sometimes, when it feels like the world is trying to knock you off your feet again, these simple yet profound principles become your anchors. We've discussed the importance of distinguishing what is within our control and what isn't. This isn't about indifference, but about wisely allocating your energy, directing it where you can truly make a difference in your reactions, your decisions. We talked about how to accept the inevitable, how to see every difficulty not as an obstacle, but as an opportunity for growth, as if the universe is offering you a unique lesson specifically for you. And of course, the importance of being here and now, without losing yourself in regrets about the past or anxieties about the future. All of this is not just a collection of separate techniques. These are different facets of one grand idea. The idea of your unbreakable connection to all that exists, your sympatheia. It's the realization that you are not alone, even when you feel most isolated. You are not just a random element in a vast mechanism. You are an indispensable, unique part of it. And you know, in those moments when life throws challenges your way, when it feels like you're being pulled into quicksand, remind yourself, you are not being buried. You are being planted, like a precious seed. You are going through a process that will allow you to sprout, grow stronger, and unleash your potential. Therefore, the next time you feel stress or loneliness beginning to creep in, do this. Just stop. Take a deep breath in and a slow breath out. And then ask yourself one single question. What of what is happening to me right now can I control right now? The answer to that question is your first step toward reclaiming your inner strength and peace. Try it. You'll be surprised how simple and effective it is.